Today is Memorial Day 2014. I've been working on my N-scale addition to my model railroad since December. That's about 5 months. And while a model railroad is never really finished, it's close enough now to post a video. I'm sure I'll be doing detail work for months and months, but the main work is done. As I mentioned, it started out in December. And here's a little less than a minute's worth of some quick flashes of how it was all put together. This is the basic framework, plywood and 2x3s. That metal piece in the beginning is the only part that I was absolutely sure about. I wanted to make a model of a bridge. This is in January, the tracks were laid, and I did my first track check. These are relays. I realized that in order to run 5 trains, which I wanted to do, I was going to need to be able to stop and start the trains automatically. So I set some relays up. There are other relays, there are other videos about the relays and how to do them on my YouTube page, Paulie Tree 1. So in February I started with wire lath and plaster cloth. By the later part of February most of the form was done, and at the end of February I was able to start doing some landscaping. There was still a long way to go, but at least it was getting there. This again, the end of February, I started working on the bridge. I decided, being that I was born and I've lived my whole life in Brooklyn, I decided to model the bridge after the Brooklyn Bridge. Not that it was going to be the Brooklyn Bridge because it's in a rural area, but I wanted it to have that look. So I took some photographs from the internet and I started building, using a lot of materials that I got from cvmw.com. The people there are great. They've got some fantastic products, girders, plate girders, and all different kinds of plastic models. This is the town that's on top of the hill. And I made that modular. I made it on a board and then set it in place. And here's the pretty much relatively completed project now. In the next couple of minutes, we'll be showing the different features on the layout. I'm able to run 5 trains again because of the relays. The trains run over reed switches. Each train has one car with a magnet that flips a reed switch. The reed switch activates a relay, and that not only kills power to the track for the preset amount of time, anywhere from 0 to 60 seconds, but it also allows the lights to change. There are a half dozen zones and there are a half dozen lights which turn from red to green. If you watch closely, every now and then you'll see a light go either green to red or red to green. The hardest part was the elevation. The whole layout goes up about 4.5 feet from bottom to top. There's about 200, a little over 200 feet of N-scale track. And this is coming out of one of the mountains on the way back down, and there's a family of deer. And again, here's a part of the bridge, and here's the other side of the bridge. And fortunately, everything's running pretty smoothly now. It took a while, but I finally got it there. These plate girders that you see on the right side, those are also from CVMW. Here's a lake that I made with one of the tutorials on YouTube about how to model water. And we've got a herd of wild horses. And this is the commercial area. This originally was going to be residential, but it just didn't look right. The supports of the bridge were higher than I wanted them to be, so I put a roadway going halfway up to break it down. Here again are the trains and the family of deer, watching them go by. There's also a cattle farm with some domesticated horses. And as is usually the case on a farm, the barn's in need of some repair work. This will give you a little better view of the bridge. As I said, it was the one thing that I definitely knew I wanted to do. And it's pretty much the focal point of the layout. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you want to see any of my other videos, there's a whole bunch of them. Go to PauliTree1, PAULIETREE, and the number 1, no spaces. If you subscribe, you'll be notified of any future videos that I put up. I want to wish you a happy Memorial Day, and I hope that you've given a thought to the men and women who've sacrificed so much so that we'd be able to have barbecues and play with our trains on Memorial Day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.